Yeah, let's talk about the championship battle because it's tightened up once again between the three leaders, the two McLaren drivers of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, as well as Max Verstappen, Alex. And I tell you what, I mean, I didn't think it was out of the realms of possibility for him to win at Imola, but winning in the way he did so comfortably, look, easily the fastest car. It was not like the scenario we saw 12 months ago where he was holding off Lando Norris, doing everything he could to try and keep past him. He was well clear. He was well clear for the most part during that race. So, how do you see things going around Monaco between these guys? Because McLaren have the fastest car, but over one lap, over qualifying, there's really not much between them.
No, not at all. And Verstappen's very capable of banging in a great pole lap, as we saw in Suzuka. Um, and he got pole. Was it? Where else did he get pole this season? Jeddah, yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah.
another street circuit. So
Mm.
it's highly likely that he could end up with pole position in Monaco, and if that's the case, he'd probably be on course for a win as well. I do think that Red Bull have improved with their pace. I mean, it's certainly not the fourth fastest car that a lot of uh, comments on social media like to make out that it is, but it's very close to the McLaren, I think, in his hands at least. McLaren, although I do think they fumbled a bit in Imola. I mean, Piastri really left an open goal for Verstappen at the start. You don't give that much room to Max, as I think someone of Oscar would know really well. And I thought they brought him in too early as well. I think that might have made a bit of an impact on the race. Because he ended up getting stuck in traffic. So strategy is key, especially with a two tire stop rule. But it adds a very good element of surprise in it. You know, we've got at least three drivers that we could, well, most likely two, but potentially three driver. And I bet you can't guess which was the third one that I'm guessing is the most unlikely one. Yeah, so could have a three-horse race.
We absolutely could, yeah. We absolutely could, yeah. No, I've no idea who you're referring to there, Alex. Absolutely no clue. But yeah, he does need to improve his qualifying, does Lando Norris, in fairness. That
Yes.
has very much been in his Achilles heel. And around Monaco as well, it's difficult. I do see what you mean about, allowing the space there with Verstappen, but he broke so late. And also on top of that, Piastri was trying to defend from Russell. So it was an awkward situation to be in, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I am doing a bit of a disservice there because it was a very good move.
It was. I don't know how he got it stopped and kept it on the track. I have no clue how he managed to do that, but that's why he's a four-time champion and has won 60 odd races. You don't do that by accident. But yeah, Sophia, what are your kind of thoughts coming into this one when it comes to the championship battle? Because, like I said, the qualifying around Monaco is so crucial. Qualifying is so tight in general this season as well. I mean, you're talking about like a second and a half between almost the entire field. And around Monaco, where it's one of the short, well, the shortest lap, but one of the shortest laps in terms of time as well. The margins between getting 16th and into Q3 are absolutely tiny.
It's definitely going to be crucial. Track position and track space to set the qualifying lap will also be a big factor as well, making sure that there's enough gap between other drivers on the grid as well. And God forbid if there is a slight nibble and hit a wall, that's going to derail most of the drivers on the grid trying to put a good qualifying time in. Going back to with McLaren and Max, I think McLaren overall will be better than Red Bull given because they have two stronger drivers compared to the one of Red Bull. But I mean, looking at the drivers specifically and like focusing really on qualifying, McLaren should have the advantage because they have the faster car. But I think Max could pull out a surprise for them during the race. And then again, if we go into strategy calls as well, McLaren has to focus on two front of the grid drivers, whereas Red Bull can focus on one. Unless, to be fair, we've not really talked about Yuki Tsunoda. He could pull it out after what happened in Imola, obviously starting from pit lane and getting to points. He can maybe have another good race weekend as well, and maybe come into contentions and be that good second Red Bull driver that they've been looking for as well. But I think the two-stop pit strategy will be the big thing. Again, McLaren has to focus on both of their drivers, whereas Red Bull can focus on one in order to have good points for the Drivers' Championship. When it comes to constructors, I think it is McLaren's to lose, because they have the better consistent of the two drivers.